Lions are the largest of the social carnivores and live in groups known as prides. A pride consists of between 2 and 30 related females and cubs residing in a territory. The males have territories of their own, and on average there will be 3 prides of females within their territory. Dominant males patrol the borders of their territory, scent marking and roaring to advertise their presence. Contrary to popular belief, they hunt for themselves though are certainly not averse to monopolizing kills made by the prides in their area, should they encounter them. The mane of the lion probably serves to increase its apparent size. Dominant males are by definition found in coalitions. A single male cannot defend a territory against 2 or more other males. These coalitions are invariably littermates who have grown up together. There are presently 5 prides and 3 active male coalitions on MalaMala. Probably the most formidable of all the male coalitions would be the 5 airfield males. Ranging in years from 5 to 7, these large lions are the direct descendants of the deceased West Street males who were also 5 in number. Although MalaMala does not currently form the core area of the airfield males, known elsewhere as the Mapogos, they have been spending a lot of time mating with the Styx pride and are being seen more frequently, their insurgents driving ever deeper into the territory occupied by the remaining roller coaster male. Once an unstoppable coalition, the roller coaster males have fathered cubs from 3 different prides on MalaMala and famously ousted the split rock male. Pressure is mounting steadily on the remaining roller coaster male, and the marks crisscrossing his back and face testify mutely to the violent life these beasts live. However, he is not showing any signs of stepping down and is frequently heard roaring and seen marking his territory. This is important if his cubs are to survive. The southern part of MalaMala is currently occupied by the Kruger males, 2 aging lions whose presence has been mainly peripheral. Interestingly, one of the Kruger males was recently seen sleeping quietly next to the split rock male, suggesting an alliance of sort with this ousted male from the north. The commonly accepted perception of a pride consisting of a number of females and a single male is therefore not accurate. Yet this situation can pertain in the case of a male who has lost the other member or members of his coalition. It would appear that in this circumstance he will join a pride for the protection in numbers that it affords. This happened with the Charleston and Msagwan prides many years ago and seems to be the situation currently with the surviving roller coaster male, who is seen in association with the airfield pride on a permanent basis. Male lions are in their prime from 5 to 8 years of age. Successful males can live for as long as 14 years, though rarely so, and unsuccessful ones might not even make 7. Females, whose cubs have been killed by newly territorial males, come into estrus again quickly. Females in a pride often synchronize their estrus, and the litters of between 1 and 5 cubs are born at much the same time. The cubs are then reared communally, and are suckled indiscriminately by any female. The cubs weigh only 1 to 2 kilograms at birth and are as helpless as kittens, opening their eyes after 3 to 11 days. After 4 to 8 weeks the mother may lead the cubs to nearby kills, although they are only weaned at 7 to 10 months. Cub mortality is high, especially if hunting is scarce. Hunting is conducted almost entirely at night when their mostly monochromatic vision, that distinguishes between light and dark, as opposed to the color vision of their prey, gives them an advantage. Nights of full moon are not conducive to successful hunting. Hunting is a group effort, but it is debatable as to whether there is any communication and tactics involved or mere instinct. Extensive observations at MalaMala show that when prey is detected, one lion will immediately lie down, while the other or others circle around. In this manner, when a lion eventually makes its move, there is a likelihood of the prey running into one of the others. Lions are however possessed of a degree of intelligence and capable of learning from circumstances, so the possibility of deliberate cooperative hunting techniques arising in particular individuals cannot be discounted. Lions in this area prey mainly on impalas. Male lions, especially when younger, are far less risk-averse than the females and will tackle larger prey far more frequently. The West Street males caught 5 giraffe in a month when they first came into the area as 5 young adults, and the young Charleston males, 2 of whom became the roller coaster males, caught 8 giraffe in 2 months. The airfield males once caught an adult rhino cow. An extensive study by Butch Smuts in the adjoining Kruger National Park has given us accurate weights. He found that female lions average 125 kilograms and males 180 kilograms. The largest male lion that he recorded weighed in at 240 kilograms.
And this is going to be a tough one now because I really can't participate in this one as much as I would like to. But we've got a really interesting question coming in from David Keane. And it's regarding probably one of the most famous crowd of characters out in the Djuma area at the moment. I've been hearing about them for many years, well, not in the last 2-3 years. I've never had the opportunity to actually see them in face-to-face. Did have an experience with them about 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago. But a crowd of lads that have been known as the Mapogos. It's a coalition of 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 typically the way we see them, 6 in total.
Yeah. And
actually knows quite a lot about them as well. He's done lots of reading and writing about them.
The question that came in, which is quite it's quite an interesting question, is what are the chances, I mean, being such a strong coalition of 5 males, which is such a unique thing, what are the chances of actually a bigger coalition being formed and actually pushing out the Mapogos?
Jan?
Sure.
Wouldn't that be nice to see?
That would be quite a story unfolding. Okay, well, I really don't have the knowledge backing or to really answer that question, but I would think that we know that some of the males or some of the individuals actually in that in the Mapogos are a little bit older, and Mr. T is losing his mane quite a lot now, and but I would suppose, I don't know what you guys think, that first of all, I think before that's going to happen, this Mapogo male coalition is probably going to not deteriorate, but one of them is going to, maybe 2 of them, is going to die out or just get discarded eventually. And then, I don't know, 5, 6 lions more, or let's say 7 other lions are taking that I don't know if that's going to happen. I think before that's going to happen, we don't know of any other coalitions that's that big now, but I think before that's going to happen, I think one of the Mapogos, or maybe 2 of them, will either go on their separate ways, or one of them or 2 of them might die, and then there's obviously the chance of another 5 male lions attacking them and taking their stride over, if I can say it that way.
Yeah, it is such a unique thing just to see such a big coalition already, so to try and imagine a bigger coalition coming in would be even more unique. However, I think one thing we can always say is that just when you think you know everything about nature, they throw you one big curveball. So I'd never say impossible, but sure, yeah, it would be quite a scene to see. But they seem to be holding strong at the moment, and have had a very, very interesting history. And the word of the Mapogos throughout the guides and rangers out in this area spreads like wildfire, and it's exhilarating to actually see them, to be that close to such a strong coalition of males and just feel that power. We've had a few experiences that actually, Peter, you found them a few weeks ago with Alex on that buffalo carcass. Yeah. You made a very good point on pointing out how intense that stare is, while they were staring directly into the lens almost, and it just goes straight through you. It is just unbelievable.
Yeah, no, they're certainly special lions. I mean, again, that's the kind of question we can sit about and might even do after we say goodnight and talk about it more. But I think Jan's point was very good. In other words, before anything happens, just first of all, I think the chance of a bigger coalition forming is not that much, just purely because the chance of 5 male coalition is quite limited already. But Jan's point was valid. I think before anything really happens, there'll have to be a weakening within the ranks of the Mapogos first, either by 1 or 2 of them getting old, which is possible, but you know that's 4 or 5 years away. But more likely, 1 or 2 of them, the male that's often by himself gets caught by 2 or 3 other lions. You know, obviously, then by himself, he might be in trouble. Or a snake bite or a buffalo. You know, they caught a big buffalo the other day, and certainly they're strong lions, but a buffalo is still a buffalo. So you know, that could happen. There's a variety of things that could weaken the coalition, and then maybe leave a gap. But more likely, then it won't be a case of them getting displaced. Again, keep in mind that these males have got such a vast territory now that they've got multiple prides. So if the coalition got weakened, it's more likely that they'll get pushed off maybe from one area, maybe lose one of the males in the process or something. But I think for them to just get displaced out of the area that they're dominating now, which is very large, would have to be unique circumstances beyond what we can almost imagine. Just the interest sake, I've mentioned before, but a good friend of mine, Dr. John Grinnell, who researched lions for a long time, the largest coalition he ever studied in East Africa was 7 males. They took over 3 territories combined as a coalition, and then after they're done, so they split into groups into 3 coalitions basically, of 3, 2 and 2, and then spend the rest of the years in those groups with the pride. So there's quite a few varieties when you start dealing with these large numbers. Also out of interest sake is that lions can distinguish when they listen to roaring up to 5 males. So if the Mapogos are all roaring and there's another male lying somewhere in the bush some distance away, he would know there's 5 lions roaring. Anything more than that, they don't really have the ability to count, if that makes any sense. Most likely because it's almost never the case, unless obviously you have the females roaring and so on. So there's a lot of potential stories to hypothesize about and talk about, and I'm sure we will still work through lots of them over the next while. But I think to answer the premise of that question is that most likely the Mapogos will be around for quite a few years. I would say 4 or 5 years at least, 1 maybe 2 generations of cubs, without having too much hassles. But then again, tomorrow a big herd of buffalo decide they've had enough of the Mapogos, and then 500 buffalo take on 5 lions, and numbers do count in the end.
There's a lot of action happening out there in the bush. You just never know how it's going to turn out. Well,